Good morning and welcome to Dr. Shirley Live. I am excited again. We have a special broadcast this morning, and we love when God allows us to interview our new authors. This is a new author. I love it when we can present to you and share it to you. One of the most incredible young men that I've seen, had the privilege of walking with him really almost let's see, 40, let's see, because I got saved in 77. I think I met him in a few years after that. Let's just say we got over a 40-year walk together in Christ. And so, I'm excited to be able to have my friend that I say a road dog that really saw me. I said, when I was bleeding, the scripture talks about when I was in a place of poverty, and so he's been able to see how God has raised me up. And I saw him as well grow up in the things of God. And so I'm delighted to have with us our guests. And so we'll be right back in just a moment. What I want to do first is give you a chance. I need you to check. I said, I'm going to check all our streams out, but I want you to share this broadcast. I need you to help me promote this incredible young man. We've got something that's so relevant today to talk about and what he's doing. And as we talk about the subject, the man who inspired me, a conversation beyond words. The scripture talks about we can talk all day long, but it's faith without works is dead. And so we're going to be diving into that, having such a lively conversation with this young man. And I'll introduce him in just a moment. But before I do, what I need you to do is to go out and share. So I will be right back. Give me about a minute or so. I'm going to check all of our streams, but we also want you to share the broadcast. We don't want you to miss not 1 second of this broadcast. This young man is incredible. He's sold out for Jesus, and he's here to tell you how he's going to pay this thing forward now based on what God has done in his life. Hello and welcome back to Dr. Shirley Live. Today we have a wonderful guest with us today. We're going to be talking to a young man by the name of Raymond McAllister Jr. And listen, Raymond, as I said before, I took the break. He's a longtime friend. And so what we're going to do today is just have a conversation. We're going to be having a fireside chat with someone I love and dear and respect. And Raymond McAllister, I'm going to go ahead and just bring him on up because he is now paying it forward what God has put into his life. And we want to challenge you to do the same. So will you welcome Raymond McAllister Jr. to the stage? Raymond, hello,
Good morning.
somebody.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I sound louder than you. Can you turn your mic up? Let me make sure my mic is turned out
Okay.
to. Yeah, because I'm watching it on YouTube. I got it set up on YouTube. I went out to make sure because we've been having some challenges with YouTube as far as making sure everything is properly set up on our channels. And I realized it wasn't going into the right, channel. So Raymond, let's hear you talk. Hello, can you welcome the people, Raymond?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast today.
Now, I want to make sure that you're sharing as well on your platform. If you would go to my Facebook group while we're talking as well, if I forgot to share that with you, go over to my page and make sure you share that to your page, Raymond, so you can have it. Listen, I told you this is a fireside chat. And I like to say it like this, I'm paying the bill here. Look, so we're gonna have fun here. For me, this is fun for me. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Some people don't enjoy their job, but I enjoy doing what I'm called to do. That is to lift people up. And we thank God for the ones that are watching. I see we have some people watching. And y'all let us know where you're watching. Go to the comment sections and let us know we should see your name, but what city and state you're watching from. And we need you to go over to the Facebook page, wherever you are, share this to your page. So it's not enough, Raymond, that they are watching. We want them to go to, while they're watching, share it to all the pages, the groups. Sometimes folks are so busy watching, they don't know the strategy. In order for this to get out, we need you to go on your page. And matter of fact, I'm going to bring mine up and then start sharing it. I have to put it in. Let me take the volume down on that. And so I'm going to share it in all my groups as well. But Instagram is running. We're excited, Raymond. We have so many platforms. So Instagram is going. I have 3 Facebook group, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. And then I'm getting ready to send it to all my groups as we get started in just a moment here. But it's definitely up and running on my pages. I'm really, really excited about everything. I want to get it bigger. So while you're talking, I'm talking, we'll be able to share everything with all my groups. So listen, it's a God thing here. So Raymond, let's get this party started here. So Raymond. Oh, got Linda Gregory already from DeSoto, Texas. She's one of our authors, and we look to do her second book in just a moment. Anybody else, let us know where you are tuning in from. But Raymond, let's start this party here. We got saved. What year did you get saved? I got saved in 77. What year? December 77. What year did you get saved?
I got saved in 1978, the fall semester of 1978, when I was a student at UNC Charlotte, under the ministry at that time of Robin Gould.
I'm sure you told me. Robin Gould. Oh my God.
Yes.
How did you connect with Robin Gould?
He had not even started Victory Christian Center at that time. It was called Faith CME. So he was still in the denominational setting.
What? So how did you get that? For some reason, I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna get to this book. We're gonna wrap this thing up. So both Raymond and I are from Durham, North Carolina. Let's back the train up.
Yes.
And you went to school.
Went to school in Charlotte, at UNC Charlotte.
And what were your degree? What were you working towards at that time?
I was working towards a degree in political science, business administration, with a minor in African American and African studies.
No. Wow, that's a mouthful right there. So Raymond, so you did that. So how did you find the Lord, as we can say? How did that happen?
Ironically, through a roommate of mine at that time, he just went on to be with the Lord this year by the name of Henry Gatling.
Yes.
And we met on the first day there in freshman orientation in August of 1978. And he said, "Is there a church around here? I
Yes.
got to go to church somewhere." And so I thought, yeah, I need to go with you to church, because I knew that's where we were brought up and whatnot. So when I'm away from home and everything is a different environment, at least let me plug into church and keep
Right.
that constant going. And
So
that's
your
how we
parents
got
were
to.
Christian. I know they were definitely committed to what. So were they? You came from a Christian home, you would say?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
My parents went to separate churches. They were old school. So even though they were
Right.
married for 56 years, my father went to White Rock Baptist Church in Durham, and my mother went to Pleasant Grove, at that time United Church of Christ in Morrisville, North Carolina. Now it's Pleasant Grove Church.
So you basically grew up having a virtuous character, biblical, background and all of that. Someone that taught you and showed
Yes,
you. Okay.
yes,
So wow, I didn't know that Robin Gould was the church that and we all, oh my God, it's like it's like going back into history when you get talking about Robin Gould and
yes.
all of these guys. And of course, he's gone on to be with the Lord, but the church is still going on. I've just checked it out, I think last year. We were saved way, 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 way back then. And actually, the reason I'm saying that's because Thurman was there as well at Robin Gould.
How
My
about that?
husband,
Small world.
you didn't. How did we not know this? Because you were there. Thurman actually was in Charlotte too. And my husband, guys, just so you know, we're celebrating 40 years this month on the 28th of being married. But
Congratulations.
he was there in Charlotte and moved back. And then we connected at the church with the Timberlakes, Pastor
Yes.
Mack and Brenda Timberlake, the late Bishop Mack and Pastor Brenda Timberlake. And so you and I worked so well together at the church. When you moved back, you finished, is that you completed college and then you came back home? Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened. And then to your point, I started going to Christian Faith Center also, under the direction of the late
So,
Bishop Mack and
so,
Pastor.
so how did you get there? Because let's just say I didn't know you until
Right.
you got right, and I didn't realize that you and Thurman was my husband. Y'all was there in Charlotte because Thurman came home as well from Charlotte, and he's from Durham as well. And I met him at Christian Faith Center, and you were. I didn't know that you both was. So did you not know Thurman?
I knew Thurman. Thurman was graduated from high school a few years ahead of me. So I knew him. Our moms worked together at North Carolina Mutual. So there was always that connection. And mom would remind me from time to time, don't forget Thurman is in Charlotte. But with our schedules, in college, didn't have, the ample transportation, or dependent upon, let's just say, city transportation.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
so my schedule was
You never
limited
saw
at that
him at
time.
the church, the same church.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly.
see now after 40 years, we don't learn how all this came. This is so amazing. You were at the same church. My husband was there,
Yes.
but we didn't know. None of us knew this until now. This is so. Wait till I tell him about this. Well,
Very
he's gonna
exciting.
be shocked. The reason is when you can't. Now, how do you get to Christian Faith Center back in those days?
Okay. The way I got to Christian Faith Center was after I graduated and moved back home. I was watching, it wasn't Christian television at that time, but I was looking for a ministry very similar to
Yeah,
Pastor Gould.
definitely. They were
And
definitely.
it was community television that I happened to see this man and lady, a man and his wife, preaching. And at that time, the teaching side was more of her. And I thought, we had seen other women teach, but I had never seen an African American woman teach and break it down, sitting in a wicker chair, calm, collective, look good, very elegant, but focused on the word of God. This is truly
Mhm.
the word of God. She removed herself from the equation and was just teaching the word of God. And that was none other than Pastor Brenda Timberlake. And at
Exactly.
that time, at the very end, when they would say, if you'd like to join us for more, and they'd run the credits and they would put the address of the church up. And I thought, Creedmoor, that's not that far from Durham. Let me go and check them out.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, they were living in Durham at the time. But
Right.
again, they didn't talk about a lot of that on the broadcast. It was mainly focusing on the word. But as I got to the church, got plugged in, and I found out they're right in Durham, met folks such as yourself, Thurman, which I was in y'all's wedding, by the way. And and then other people along the way whom we are still friends today, some 40 years later.
Wow. And here's another tidbit that we're all getting this. Listen, we're going back home, but we're going to talk about this book because it's so important, because it's about your journey that
Yes.
you got a new book out and we're needing your support on. But listen, here's what happened. Thurman were there. He came back. He got a recommendation from someone at the church to say, where do I need to go to church? I'm going back home. They told him Christian Faith Center. They're in Creekmore with the Timberlakes. I'm walking down the aisle one day. That's how we met. I hear him, and the girl told him, because I used to go to Charlotte a lot.
Right.
PTL was there, and different churches was going on, different Robin Gould, and we would go there a lot. So I'm walking down the aisle in church, and the girl named Mary said, well, when you go home, go to this church, which was a Timberlake church, and look for this girl named Shirley Keach. And I was walking down the aisle at the end of service, and I heard somebody ask, which is my husband, that say, hey, do you know someone named Shirley Keach? And I'm walking, I hear my name called, and I flipped around and said, I'm Shirley Keach,
Right. Who's that calling my name?
Right. And so he said, well, we have a mutual friend from Charlotte, Mary, so I can't remember her last name. And so that's what happened. And so we just grew up. And so I knew that what was so unique at that time, you and I, they had just started a singles ministry.
Yes.
And you and I were selected to head that up in the church. I represented the ladies, you represented the men. And so they knew that we were solid for God. We were sold out. I don't know, Raymond. I just got you, Raymond, home, so I can talk down. We ain't got to be all hot today.
Right.
I don't know about this Christianity that right now where you in the gray spot. We were so sold out for God. You didn't have to ask us were we saved. You
Right.
saw God in our lives, and we operated in his character, his love. It reflected his relationship. You knew that we were Christian, and we didn't just have to, speaking in tongues all the time. We carried the presence of God in our lives, and that's why they selected you and I. Raymond, you were sold out. There wasn't no hanky panky or nothing. Just go. That we got to get back where you friends with all different, genre, races, and just male, female, without every time you meet, it's going to be my mate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We were sold out. We went out to things. We had a great time, Christian coffee houses and stuff. Would you talk about that a little bit? And then we're going to jump right into what we are doing today. But I want you to know who this young man is. This is not somebody I'm just pushing his project. This is somebody I know, and he has authority in what we're going to be talking about today. But Raymond, talk about those days. We were sold out. Talk about how that felt for you that they selected us, you and I, to serve and head up that singles ministry.
I was really honored and shocked at the same time, if you can say that in the same sentence, because even though we were selected, singles ministry was a new concept,
right?
In most churches, and most of all of your churches have single people, and they're like can be a forgotten segment. And depending upon the church, sometimes the single population is larger than the married population. And I was so excited about just being at Christian Faith Center, and as you mentioned, going to the Christian coffee houses and things like that, which I didn't have that experience in Charlotte because the focus at that time was on my schoolwork. Did some socialization, but again, it was a lot of what was on campus. So when we went to the, I believe it was God's Way In, is what they called. That was the name of it. It was over in Raleigh. And I remember just different ones. Maybe, you know, I had started wearing my glasses, because I didn't wear them until after college. And so the people that remembered me says, oh my God, you know, he's even more of a square now than he was in college. And then when the music cranked up, I was the first one up out of my seat, dancing, having my hands raised and clapping my hands and whatnot. And they thought, oh my God, wait a minute, he's liberated now. You all right, you all right. And
Raymond, you don't look like you ready to party, but you are a party person. You want to take Raymond McAllister with you. I know he's a corporate man. He been in corporate America, but if you want to party, you take Raymond McAllister Jr. with you. Raymond, he was all at the Sherry show. They call him out at both of them, Tabla Hall and Sherry show.
That was a very exciting time too.
Last year we went to.
And Dr. Clark, what a lot of people didn't know, well, some people didn't know, but you know, as you graduate high school, you go to college, you get a different segment of the population, if you will. But some of them had forgotten that I was drum major at Hillside.
That's right.
So actually all of that just kind of kicked back in, if you will, for the Lord.
Wow, that's right.
And the school I went to at that time, now they have a band now, but at that time we did not have a football team. Therefore, we did not have a marching band.
Right. So that was easily for you. Right.
Yes.
I forgot that you was listen, I want you to hear him. In case you didn't know, this was like the HBCU. That's why Hillside High bands and stuff were like. They're flipping over, they're doing everything. And Raymond did all of that, guys.
And sometimes now the little joke is, if I see a great HBCU band, whether it's on TV or in person at a parade or some type of event, I'm out trying to recreate those days. Wow. And my mom used to say it perfectly, because she used to look at me right funny, and I'd say, oh, you know, I used to do this. And my mother said, okay, I'm going to say one statement, and that's all I'm going to say. That was then, and this is now. I said, well, I can still do it. She said, well, okay, if you say you can, I'm not going to take it away from you. All I know is if you cut a split. And
you know, I was shocked when I found out my conservative husband was the drum major as well. He came before you.
Right. That's right.
Not the man I married, Mr. Conservative.
Exactly. We shared that in common.
Everybody wore, back in those times, white shirts to work every day. He was in corporate in telephone. I think it was Bell South or whatever, way back then. There was, I don't even know if AT&T was around. He's with AT&T now, but Bell South, and they wore white shirts every day. And
every day.
When I found out, I think I was married when I found out that my husband was flipping and go, no, not my husband was not. I want y'all to know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about HBCU bands.
Right.
And
that was another thing that
unlikely people, you and my husband, to be the drum major. I was like, okay, you got
exactly right.
God has a sense of humor.
That was another thing that he and I shared in common, is that he, as you mentioned, was in telecommunications. I too was in telecommunications out of college at GTE at that time.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is just
Yeah,
amazing.
which now, you know, eventually merged and became Verizon when they got out of the landline
Oh,
business
okay.
and got over into the wireless business. So
Mhm.
that's where Verizon came from, was GTE, which merged with a company out of Virginia.
Yeah. Well, you know, you and I, and you still single, and there's so many things that we can talk about today, because now I'm talking with my friend a long time. Someone, the thing that I loved about you is that you never gave up on God as a single man, and you have now seen your dad grow up, and transition on to be with the Lord, as well as your mom as well transition, and yeah, and gone on to glory as well. And now, but there was a point that you was working in corporate America. You even moved to sales. I believe you were in
Yes,
marketing and started working with Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
yes.
And how you worked there? How many years,
I
Raymond?
was
Before?
there a total of 18 years, got called back after retirement for 2 more years as a consultant, and so rounded up to 20 years.
Okay, yeah. So, and but it was a time in your life, and you stayed holy the whole time. Is that what I'm using the word holy because that's a, that's a word now. Everybody a Christian now. Can we? I want to be clear who you are. You stayed not a Christian, but you stayed holy throughout your entire walk with God. Is that correct? Can you talk about that? But there were other men like your dad and others that came around that can continue to support you and mentor you. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. It was like you said, I had really a strong parental and community support. So when we hear that concept, it takes a village. That was what it was for us, my sister and I, because we had both our grandparents were still living at that time. All of our aunts and uncles all resided in
Mhm.
Durham. And so wherever we went, whomever's house we were at for whatever function, we always heard the same message. And so it was never a conflict. It was never mix and match. It was never do this and don't tell. I won't tell your mom. I won't tell your dad. They'd be the first ones to say, if you do so and so, we're going to get you. And then we're going to tell your mom and dad, and they're going to get you again. So, so we
I
learned
think
at a
it's
very,
right. I think everybody know. There ain't no secrets with it. But the thing was, though, you had a village. You had people
yes, at a
around you,
village.
and you had
And they didn't
strong men
sugarcoat.
around
They
you.
didn't sugarcoat things. To your point, when what they said, they meant it, and they didn't tell you a whole lot of times. Rarely was it 3 strikes and you out. Most of the
Okay.
time they told you once, maybe twice, and then what they would do is fall back on, you've been taught better than that. I'm
Mm.
really disappointed. And when somebody tells you, after all these years of pouring into you, investing into you, teaching you, training you, that they are disappointed, that cuts to the core.
Mm.
It's like, just take 3 or 4 switches off the tree. Just take the tree branch off and spank me with that
People,
before you
people
tell me
don't know
you're
about that,
disappointed.
right? Where they told you, and my mom was at time and said, go get your own," and
Go
you
get
know,
your own switch.
go get your own split.
Exactly.
And you know you want to get the smallest one, but you know if you got the smallest one, you're gonna get in more trouble.
You got to go get in more trouble. I know you didn't come back in here with this little thing. It's something this big.
I'm telling you, it was so funny. But anyway, and so today now, and there was a time in your life that as your parents grew older, that you and your sister Glenda, who just put up, let me put it back, she said that was my mother, a picture right here of right here. This is his sister. It's just only 2 of you in your family. And
Yes.
she put up a picture, said that was mother. That might be Glenda and her husband. But the fact of the matter, it came a point where you now had to give back.
Yeah.
Y'all had to come together, and he passed. I don't know how many years ago. How long ago has it been that your dad passed? Because he was always there. I always remember your mom and your dad being there for you. How
Daddy
long?
passed away. It's been little over 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. Passed away in May of 2023.
Okay. And you and your sister came in agreement that we're gonna need to do something. Y'all came together and recognized we're gonna have to give. We're gonna have to transition, make some changes in our life. Can you talk about that support system, how y'all work together to make it work? And then it came to a point where you had to make a decision as well from a corporate standpoint. Can you talk about that as well?
Yes, thank you. We, as my mom passed or transitioned in 2015, and they've been married for so long. At that point, it'd been 56 years. And typically, what we were hearing from his doctors, and Daddy was pretty active. Went to the doctor, kept his appointments, physical, that type thing. But typically, the doctors had pulled my sister and I aside and said, what we have seen for husbands and wives who've been married this long, typically, not all the time, that when the wife passes first, it's not long before the husband passes. And sometimes it's the other way around, but most time women are a little bit more independent, and they can survive longer than their spouse. And so when we heard that, we were thinking, no, that's not going to be, we don't want that to be our narrative. So what can we do to let him know that he's not by himself? Because even though you've got children, at that time, grandchildren, he could still feel like I'm by myself. My mother's name was Pearl. Pearl is no longer here. What am I going to do? And so we plugged him in. To your point, we came to agreement. I relocated back from Charlotte because I had gone back to Charlotte to work when I was at Blue Cross. So I came back from Charlotte again, and relocated back in the area and said, I will be here to help you with his care, to make sure because that's a whole lot for one person. And he was doing pretty good at that time, but nonetheless, let's get a system in place. So when and if his health starts declining, we've already got a system in place. And that came from an old saying that our grandparents used to say, if you're already ready, you don't have to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So again, back to that village. By this time, all of those people are gone except Aunt Alice. But we still had that here and in our spirit of what they were saying. So as long as you have your memories of whomever your mentors were, they're always with you. And so we came to that decision, and I moved back. And then as time progressed, when the pandemic came upon us, we had already made a decision that Dad needed to stay with my sister. Let's move him out of his home, because that was getting to be a bit much. Because I was still working, still traveling with Blue Cross, and of course she would leave her home to go to his house. So let's move him in with she and her husband. But then when the pandemic came, the main reason that I had relocated and got the place that I have now was so, again, preparation. When that time came, Daddy could stay with me. I have no steps. Everything is on one level. And that was the first thing, because you always hear about not so much older people, but more prominent older people falling. And just a little simple fall or can break a hip, because their bones at that time are not what they used to be. But specifically breaking of hip or breaking of legs. There again, we said we didn't want that to be our narrative or his narrative. And so Daddy stayed with me during the height of the pandemic, 100% straight across the board, from 2020 till March of 2020 till I believe it was June of 2021. And I was able to orchestrate, get home health At that time,
And so you were retired? Were you then?
yes, had retired. I'm sorry,
So
skipped
you
over that
retired.
part. Had
That's a
retired.
critical point to let people know
Yes, had
that you.
retired, made that decision as we could see this coming. And I realized and started checking into retirement at Blue Cross where I worked. Oh, I qualify for retirement. All of a sudden it was looking real attractive. And so I retired in September of 2019. So notice the timing
Wow.
on that, right before the pandemic really, hit and
Oh, I
struck
didn't
and we
realize
were
it's been that
declared a
long that
pandemic.
you have. So y'all made preparation for this. And the
In
reason
preparation
was
for
this,
that.
that you all also were able to work together and you made the decision too, because your dad, I remember hearing you talk about your dad a lot growing up, and your mama really. Both of your parents was instrumental in your raising, rearing, and making sure you were part of the community that gave to you and doing things. You were always out there willing to be a part. And so I just know that you did everything, you and your sister, everything. I want to be clear that your sister was a part of this equation to
Yes,
making sure that everything was done correctly, to make sure the transitions of both of your parents went on to glory. And they didn't have any issue. Y'all didn't have family and drama with this. You made a decision to give back to the people that had
yes,
blessed your life, all of your life. And so now Raymond, he's gone on. Now you recognize, and both of them has been an instrumental part, but we know that there are still men are missing in the home. There's
yes,
still, no matter what we say, there's still fatherless situations. And we as Black women always, and there now, if you see the statistics, it's just you are running into it across the board. It ain't just Black families now having fatherless situations. There are all different kinds of fathers in different races. They're walking out as well, or the divorce is taking it, it's total on the family structure. But now you're wanting to do something and to honor your dad, and that is to do a book and talk about the pastor, the father, the mentor, the leader that has inspired you. And so and you want to encourage others to celebrate the ones that have, because often we talk about the ones that have not. And so you're now want to release a book called Beyond Words, because
yes,
the Bible talks about it. I said it earlier when I opened up. Faith without works is dead. So it's beyond words because he's acting it. This is a conversation about people that have mentored you, and you want to do scriptures, and you want to show people and dedicate this book to the man that poured into you to be the man that you are, the holy man that you are, committed. But there are so many characters that and traits and virtues that you walk in because you saw it walk out every day in your home. Can you talk about now why now that you want to now tell me, inspire people with this book, and to dedicate a tool, a resource tool like this to the man that raised you?
part of it, Dr. Clark, for me is therapeutic. And
Mm.
after dad passed, there's this, like you said, we had a lot of father son time together growing up. My mom was real instrumental in that. And after my mom's health started declining, she challenged me and said, I need for you to make sure that you keep your dad plugged in. Everything he was plugged in, the family events, family reunions. He didn't need much encouragement being plugged into church. He was doing a lot at the church, from the choir to secretary of his Sunday school class to president of the Sunday school class to the missionary group. So he didn't, Child Development Center was instrumental in the creation and founding of that, and on part of the board of which I now was able to fulfill his seat there, because just taking him to the meetings and being plugged in there and got to learn the infrastructure of that. But
Mm-hmm.
keeping him plugged in, and then I got to thinking, after you get through and you don't really get through it per se, your grieving process, And I began to think, how can I give back? Because this is bigger than me. And I wanted other people, to your point, to glean from what I had learned from my dad and just things that dad had exposed us to. Dr. Clark, I can remember when we were growing up, daddy would say simple things like, I'm going to expose you all to all types of music. And then
Mm.
you can decide, there's something that simple, and you can decide what genre you like the best, but it's not going to be because you don't know about the other genres. So we knew people like Earl Grant, Earl Garner, Henry Mancini, Dinah Shore, Herb Alpert. We knew about a lot of these people when we before we even got to high school. So in some instances, our band director, who was Mr. Clark Edgerton, was very good friends with dad. And in some instances, some of those old songs, you know, when they jazzed them up, we played them in the band and we knew exactly what the song was. And we tell Mr. Edgerton, oh, we know that song. We used to listen to this when we were kids. And he was astonished. He said, well, knowing everybody called Dad Mac, knowing Mac, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised
Mm.
because we talked about a lot of that in the choir. But that was what my inspiration, and what my inspiration is to give back, and to pour into others who may not have had that, or even if they had that,
Mm-hmm.
just to be able for them to glean from that experience.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, we are talking with Raymond McAllister today. He's a new author. He's releasing a new book right now. We are launching the ebook, and we want you to go out and just support him today. We're wanting to be. We want him to be a number one Amazon best-selling author. So we have the ebook. So let me bring that up again now. We have the ebook available right now for $5.99, and the name of the book is Beyond Words. I think I can't really see it. It's the let me see here, the father, friend, leader, or mentor who inspired me. Many of
Yeah.
you have these fathers, a friend, a leader, male friend. We're talking male right now that has inspired you, and so we want you to go out right now and go to his website. Let me bring it up, the banner. Go to his website and purchase the ebook. We need you to do this for us. We want him to in fact, let me do it this way. Buy this. Go now. Buy now at raymondmcallister.net. Go to his website. Help us with the ebook. It's only $5.99. I promise you, just 100 more of you will go out. Every vote, how you say, everything count, Raymond. Let's say it that
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
Go out right now. We need you to go right now and purchase the book for us. We believe in God for Raymond to become an Amazon bestseller over the next day or two. And we need your help on this. And the only way we're going to do it, we got to do it together. So I need you to go to the website. In fact, let me put it in the comment as well. www buy now. Let me put buy now. So in case you say, oh, I don't see it. Okay, it's going to say buy now. And I need you to support Raymond. Listen, I need you to all, everybody in his family, I need you all to find 10 people to go in and purchase this book today. Now you can't wait 3 weeks later because it's about today. How this works on Amazon is, it's just like even a New York Times bestseller. They look at the sales now, not down the road, to determine the dial, how much it's selling and everything to push this thing up. So I need your help. I'm putting it in the comment section for those who will watch this video. I said we purpose these videos, and the Bible said you have not because you ask not. So now Raymond is telling you, he want now to put this into an intellectual property situation, a booklet, so he can share his heart, dedicated to his dad. And then one thing also he's doing really, it's a sweet spot on this book. When you go to the website, when you scroll down, He's asking for five, that we're looking at 5 to 10 men to come in the book, to do a page, a little narrative in the book. And if you like to be one of the men, you say, well, I don't want to write no whole book. Exactly. And yet this book, we're going to put it everywhere. All of the major online bookstores. It's going to be on Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Goodread, Google Books, of course, Amazon, everywhere else. And then we're going to have the magazine. As the authors come together, we're going to interview all the authors. We're going to be out here quite a bit over the next 3 months because the book is coming out. The ebook, of course, all of this will be released. The ebook will be released around the first, somewhere around the first weekend, December. This is a pre-sale. We want to be very clear about that as well, Raymond, that people know. So it says pre-sale on this flyer. Pre-sale, it will say pre-sale, pre-sale. This, we are pre-selling the ebook today. In another week or so, we'll be able to do the hardback book, the paperback, and be honest, we are going to do all formats for Raymond. I know him; he's been a blessing to me, and so we're gonna pull out the red copy for Raymond. We getting behind him. I don't know about these other people, but I can stand for righteousness with him. He has stood with God, and we're gonna get him. And if they, I don't know, Amazon, if they deemed his book ready to be an audio book, I'm going to see what we can do. Mine's are now, some of my books are in audio format. But see, these are things you will get just by being in the book. If you get in this book with Raymond, you're going to be published weekly. You're going to be in multiple magazines. You're just going to be Issue, Mad Cloud, every kind of thing. Just know the fact that you will connect to him, that opens up the floodgate. Because Raymond, again, I'm working with someone. I always tell people, Raymond, that you just ain't the one that know this person. That you could get something out of someone that's closer to your relationship currency than somebody that don't know you. So because I know this young man, and he has stood with me, prayed with me. We have prayed together. We've just traveled together. We have had zero unkind words. And that's hard over 40 something years. Yeah, no arguments. I want the best for him. You know why? He sold his life to support his dad. He retired early so that he could take care of his father. We need to celebrate men like this. And Raymond's going to be offering a mentoring program to help your young men. There are still mothers that are struggling with the young men from ages 14 to 17, all the way to beyond it. But he wants to get in that gap. So I need your help. I need everybody to find 10 people to go out on his website and purchase it's a pre-sale. I want to clear that up. Pre-sale for the ebook right now. And we move this so you won't get it immediately, whatever the date is, they'll tell you when it's going to be released. That's when this is a pre-sale. We have to say this because people, well, I ain't get my stuff. I want to be clear. You're not going to get it right away because we're still cleaning it up, doing some things, what we need to do, get it ready, and then we're going to have it up. So this is a pre-sale. So before the book is out, we need you to make him by today, tomorrow, or Sunday. This young man need to be an Amazon #1 best-selling author, and we need your help to do this. Raymond, it takes a village.
Yes.
Like you said, it takes a village, and we all have to understand that it takes a village. And so we're going to need people to get out and support you right now. And so, Raymond, what do you want to say to the people that are supporting you, or parents, mothers that are struggling right now? You know that you're going to be getting in the gap and start mentoring young men. You want to say anything, encourage them? Because some parents are going through, the young kids are out in the streets there, just the behaviors. and you want to get in there like your dad and expose them to things, bring them out, take them on trips. I know that, we were down into New York. We
Yes.
want to help these young men self-esteem, professional development. Can you talk about that? Why it's important, what you are doing and planning on doing? Would you just encourage the mothers right now?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Clark. It's really important that I follow in my dad's footsteps. And what's been impressed upon me is daddy was about doing
Mhm.
more so than do as I say, but
Mm,
do what you see me do. And a lot of times, the other favorite expression of his was action speaks louder than words.
mhm,
And so that applied to me as well. And so as I was remembering and thinking about his memory and what I could do to help others in his memory, that's what was impressed upon me, to give back. Or as we say now, and I like the way you say it, pay it forward. Pay
mhm,
it forward. So
mhm.
you're not paying anybody back, because we've been projected forward. And so my dad was a 100% of my trajectory in my life. Was all of that was my dad. Of course, my mom too, but even my mom would tell me, you spend time with your dad. She was never inhibited, never jealous of any father-son time. And daddy would take me with him just about everywhere, even from when I was a little boy. And it's not so much of always talking and teaching a lesson while I was with him, other than just being with him. So where we were out doing church business, where we may have been going to get grocery, we may have been going to visit other family members. That was all a part of the exposure, and people knowing who I was. Because the other thing, it didn't hurt that I've been told all my life I look just like him. So it was that was the one joke that my mother would say, okay, I just served as a vessel. That's all. I've gotten used to that, because nobody's ever told me that I looked like her. But my aunts and whatnot did say that I had her diplomacy. And so it was a team effort, if you will, because mom could taught me how to get along with a rattlesnake. So I'm not calling you a rattlesnake, but I'm just saying that that's part of, you don't have to argue with people and beat them down and beat them over the head with a club and whatnot. Just be a demonstration. Let your life be a demonstration of how you treat people, and then how you want people to treat you. And that's what I would say, that is where my heart is. And just in demonstrating that, because a lot of times, I'll see the younger people, and you say, oh my God, you got your pants down below your waist, or oh my God, you don't have your shoelaces tied up and whatnot. But all of that is not helping. That's not helping anybody. It's certainly not helping them. And to tell you the truth, and the sad reality is, they're used to hearing that, because they're probably hearing that from society in general, where they're hearing all this negative from coming at them from everywhere. And so they need to hear some positive affirmations. They need to see and be exposed to some positive affirmation. And I know I'm not the only one, but I want to be a part of that side of the equation. And so that's what excites me the most. And Dr. Clark, can I share a story of one thing that I learned from
Mhm.
Dad while we were out?
Absolutely. I'm still sharing. That's what y'all see my head is, because I'm sharing this broadcast. Raymond
Okay.
is
And
rolling here.
I saw as a part of just being with my dad, and doing what he had demonstrated with animals, for example. And he always told us, because the dog leash law was not a law or not a strongly enforced law when we were growing up. And so it was nothing to see a stray dog. And Daddy would say, you got to know how to handle yourself when you see a stray dog like that, because they're just as scared as you are. But a scared dog is going to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, one of them is turn and run, but there are sometimes that if they're backed in a corner or it's truly their territory, they're not going to run from that. You're going to have to be the one that knows how to navigate that. So while we were out one day making some deliveries for church, there was a house that we went to, and Dad knew the people, of course, and delivering the product to them. Their entire yard was fenced in. They had these two beautiful, huge German Shepherd dogs. And that was their ADT, if you will. Those dogs let them know, even their mailbox was on the outside of the fence. So nobody got beyond that fence, front, side, or backyard, without those dogs barking. And I mean, they're German Shepherds, so they're going to be pretty ferocious, and it's their territory. And that's how the people would know, oh, somebody's here. Let's go outside and see who's here, what all this commotion is. Well, Daddy had left me in the car, as was pretty common back then. Not a hot car. You know, he'd left the motor running and left the AC going. But 5 minutes to a child is an eternity. And to me, it was just taking him a little bit too long in that house. And so I was not deterred by the dogs from what he had taught me. And so now this is foolish. Don't do this. Don't do this on your own. You really need to have a real good reason, even though mine wasn't. I just didn't want to be outside in the car anymore by myself. But I was a child, and I opened that fence. I did what my dad said do. I didn't make any sudden movements. I let the dog sniff me and get my scent, and walked up to the front door and rang the doorbell. And Dr. Clark, those dogs did not bark, not one time. Not one time did they bark. And the people, when they came to the door, they were shocked. They were shocked. And the wife told my daddy, she said, you need to go on and go home. You take Raymond Jr. home. She said, because we're not going to have Miss Pearl coming after us because these dogs attacked her child and did bodily harm. So she said, you get out of here. Get out of here. This baby came up here because you've been in here too long. So we got our product. We got carried away. They apologized. But that was something, just a lesson that it was so powerful that I learned from Dad. Of course, I got scolded for that afterwards and all like that, you know, and got to develop patience a little bit more and all of that. But that to me resonated such that I told that at his homegoing service. We were out, first of all, making deliveries for church. So I incorporated that in there as the why, that we were not out doing anything foolish. And he had me with him, seeing him make these simple deliveries of products that the church was selling. And he was like you say, making the deliveries of people who had purchased that. It was on a Saturday afternoon, pretty sunny day. And again, I wanted to go with him because at some point, you know, kids, they want to be with you. And it just depends on what the nature of it is. Sometimes you're told you're just going to be in the way. You just stay home. You're going to be in the way. You're going to be impatient. You're going to be ready to stop and eat, stop and take 25 bathroom breaks and all of this. But he never said that. He never said that. Always carried me with him. And I knew, okay, if I'm with Dad, you know, it's almost like, okay, everything's going to be all right in the world because I'm with Dad. It was just that one time and I felt like, okay, you were in that house a little bit too long. So I got to come, like, what am I going to do, a 10-year-old? Let me go in here and see what I can do.
Right.
But
well, we're really excited.
I'd like to say that the Lord honored and respected that because all I can say, Dr. Clark, is not one time did the dogs even bark. So I was never frightened.
And that's a part of your your story.
Yes.
He is,
Yes.
the man that who inspired you to be who you are, to
Yes.
have wisdom.
Yes.
That's
Have
the
wisdom.
strategy and wisdom. We often wait, Raymond, to after the fact. I always tell people we need to look at becoming global solutionists, and second, to be proactive. I'm
Yes.
thankful your daddy had proactive, put you in a place that you can respond properly because he already spoken to your life, and that's why you're writing this book. This is a devotional journal for men. You're gonna have different virtuals and all types of things. You're gonna come out your workbooks, and with the kids, and you're gonna be in another year. Really, after we get this up and running, and we're gonna start mentoring and putting you into programs. And I'm excited to. The reason I got this up. This is our media, our partners
Okay.
over in Africa. Has picked this up and reposted it on and streaming it as well on their platform. And we are grateful to be in partnership with them. Thank you all so very much, MDN News, for reposting this now. And so we just know that God is going to do great things. We've got to get hold to the men, and so we can do a revolution. We don't know a movement what God is going to do through you, but one thing we do know that God is faithful. When you pay it forward, when someone else has blessed your life, this is a time for you all to do, get ready. You all that have men ministries, you want Raymond to come in and speak. Father's Day services. This is a time to book him. Get up with him, write me, go to my website. We will be overseeing him for sure, the next year. Let me put my banner up. If you've been blessed, of course, share the broadcast. But let me see if you need to connect. I know his website is not set up for that, so I need you to go to my website or email me, drshirleyclock.org. Clock's Consulting Group. We work with all kinds of authors, our JBAS Writers Agency. But write me if you want to book him to speak. Email me through the Gmail. Yeah, we got other professional with emails and stuff, but we want you to write me and say, Raymond McAllister, I want to book Raymond to speak. I want him to come and do a book signing. We're looking for all of that. You got a podcast. You want Raymond on to talk about this. There's a lot going on in the world, always, young men. It's just we assume sometimes that it's not me, so I don't see it. But there's a lot still of parents, single moms, or even dad that have young men. It just in bad places. So I believe this book and Raymond program, as we set the program in place, and Raymond's going to have a voice to be able to speak into the young men's life now. Even some of the men that are still growing up. I've learned now, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you haven't gotten those wounds healed from a childhood, you just acting out in your adulthood what you know from your past.
Right.
And how do I know this? I was brought up in foster care for 3 years. My family was. I'm the youngest of seven. My I see all my siblings, the older one, all my brothers, my sisters, things that happens to you as a child unless there's someone come in and mentor or shift that situation. Raymond is willing to help. And for parents who are really struggling, young ladies, for sure with the young men, your mothers, this is a time I need you all to support him and then take his name. And if you got a church meal program, any type of youth program, this is a young man that we're getting ready to put him all over the world to help your young men to be inspired. They shouldn't be looking for inspiration when we have someone like Raymond available. And you're looking for someone that's holy. I can't stress that now. Not someone, and because we're going to do background checks, y'all be able to see him, his background check. We want to make sure you know that he's holy. We understand. You can't trust everybody with your children and your seed. I fought for my seed, Raymond, based on what we
Yes.
went through in life.
Mhm.
Those 3 years of being abused in foster care, every one of my family. And so I understand their pain. I understand their struggles now. I understood how they came out the way they came all their life. But you need somebody to come in and disrupt like you. you got somebody got to come in to help you see another world. Raymond McAllister Jr. is the young man that can do this for you. I know we like to have everybody to have a soft story. Raymond, this is not, to be able to look, oh, I was down, totally down. No, no. He doesn't have to have a sob story to be an impact. That's what I need you to know. His father impacted his life with wisdom. And so Raymond wants now to pour into not just a young man, but men like reflect. I'm looking at someone that will not damage you, kids. Someone that will breathe life and hope into your young man. So I need you to support him today for me. Go to his website, Raymond McAllister. Down here, it's in the ticket here, RaymondMcAllister.net. I need you to buy an ebook for us right now. I think, and then I need you to gift some books. Now they have to be downloaded in order for the count, but I need you to get people to buy his book between now and tomorrow, definitely by Sunday. I need y'all to go out and buy the book all day long. We're going to be pushing this sale. It's only $5.99. It's a pre-sale. I want to say that over and over again. It will be released, I think, first week of December. It will be available for you. Now, in another few weeks, we will have, I believe, the paperback. That's what we're looking at to be pre-selling that as well. But right now, we need to make Raymond a best-selling author. Number one, Amazon best-selling author. Way to do that, you have to get a village. So I need the village, and we're going to be texting people today. Raymond, I'm so excited to have you to be, as a friend, a longtime friend, to be able to offer this to you as a gift. Because you saw me in when I was bleeding. I was in my wounded state when I had nothing to. I had one skirt when I got saved. So you came in when I was still believing God for $5. Now I'm able to give back to you, give the world to you, basically, based on we stayed friends and you stayed holy. Everybody is not going to have those testimonies. You were down and out and didn't have nothing. Raymond just was taught correctly. And so he don't have all that debris in his life. So he can tell you how you can manage this and grow someone. Raymond inspires someone. Raymond, as we close, you have any more, and you think else real quick, you want to encourage the people to go out and buy your ebook, pre-sale help you. Can you speak to that audience as we get ready to close?
Yes, I just want to thank everybody in advance for going out and purchasing that. This has been a lifelong dream. I actually recently met a gentleman, a college professor who is now in his 80s, maybe about 3 years ago. And this is us meeting for the first time and him not knowing anything about me. And the first thing he said after he heard me talk about dad was still living then, he said, "You need to write a book." And I just about passed out because other family members had been saying that, and I had been squelching it. This is too big. It's a monumental task. It's overwhelming. It's a lot of responsibility. Dr. Clark, as you just mentioned, and I don't have time. All of the excuses, and so the reason it would be so exciting to have your support here is this is what has been foretold a long time. And I feel like that I'm fulfilling something that I'm supposed to do, but I'm not supposed to do it just for me. I'm supposed to pay it forward. And so I appreciate your support in advance already, and to help me to do some more things that I'm supposed to do in terms of writing. One aunt asked me to write a book about her husband. It was my sister's godmother. And I never did that because, again, it felt like it was too much of a monumental task. So all of this is exciting me and fulfilling this dream and goal that I have that had been pushed so far down that I thought that it was gone. You just think, okay, how do they say it? That ship has sailed.
Right. Exactly.
But it's never too late It's never too late when you got your hand in the hand of God. It is never too late. And one way that I used to love to say it in my meetings at Blue Cross, as long as we're on this side of the dirt, we can do whatever we were supposed to do, and do what you can do to stay on this side of the dirt and fulfill your purpose. It's all about purpose. And I would like to, throw a little humor in there, because we learned that people would remember that. But again, in fulfilling your purpose and your destiny, we hear that so much, and it can be a catchphrase now. And then people 20 years from now still trying to fulfill their purpose and destiny. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you're on the path to doing that. That's fine. That's fine. So I'm excited for your support. And Dr. Clark, I don't know if I think you had already mentioned that we'll be having another interview tomorrow.
Yes, at 10 o'clock.
And I have another story to share with you on tomorrow. I won't give you all the nuggets at one time.
We got, and we're friends anyway. Like I said, a lot of stories going to come out anyway. Right. We haven't, we got 40 some years on this thing.
Right.
So we got lots of years. Yeah, but it'll be a shorter one, I'm sure it'll be shorter. But the fact of the matter, listen, we do know the scripture talks about Raymond. Though we have 10,000 teachers, we have a few fathers. And this is what this book is about.
Yes.
Wading through all of that, so you can have someone that will nurture and support, and find those fathering, those counselors that made a difference in your life. And so if you're a male and you have someone that another male that really made a difference in your life, and you want to honor them, this is the book project you want to be in. Raymond's looking for 5 to 10 men to have a page in the book that'll do a narrative about someone, and dedicate that page to that person, that coach, that friend, that mentor, that father, and to be a part of it. So go to his website. Matter of fact, I think, let's see if I can even, as he share the screen. Let's see if I'll be able to do that. Yes.
I see it. It's still
all right. So this is his, go to his website, and this is a pre-sale for his ebook. And I need to put that, and so it's a pre-sale. And see, it said call for authors. Do you have a father, friend, brother, mentor, coach, pastor? See, that's another thing. A co-worker, a boss. Some of these bosses, I know we talk about it, but there are some bosses that did right by you and open that door.
Yes.
And that's why you're where you are today. So we want to invite you to be a part of this book project. Here, though you have 10,000 instructors, and this is version, but you have not many fathers. So here, and so Raymond tells his words from the visionary. But here we deal with how you can participate. So we want you to go. And so it is a investment, but it's so small, because the fact of the matter, Raymond, they're going to be getting over a 12, for me, probably $15,000 deal. And so, because I want to be a blessing. So they just have just a small portion. This is a small investment, only $5.99 to be a part of this, where you will become a best-selling author. You will be in a press release where you have then ABC, NBC, be able to say all kinds of things. You're going to be on platforms with old books, old magazines, Entrepreneur, Forbes, and all of that. We're going to put it up as a digital place. See, I already know what I'm doing. And I already know you're going to be on platforms with millionaires. I already know, Raymond, you're going to have a Beyond Word conference and award ceremony coming up next year. We're going to do a lot with this. It's not just this book. I need you to understand this is now a brand, and we will be moving to honor men in the community. See, I see a lot of us as women. You rarely see award show for men. But Raymond, we're going to identify these men, these coaches, these bosses and things, leaders, male that have done something in the community. So I want you to be a part of this. Go to his website. You're looking at it, RaymondMcAllister.net. Be a part of this. I promise you, we're looking at how we do billboards. We're looking at putting you and some of these men. If you're in the book, we definitely going to come back and ask you. Let's be in New York Times, I swear, on the billboard. Raymond, we're looking at you. Already know we've done this with you, right? This
Yes.
ain't no joke, is it? We're not.
No,
We're
no
not
joke.
lying. We're going to be. We just need to see where everybody's at, and then we're going to get you all on a billboard. And while you're there, we're going to also be sharing. Our goal is what, Raymond? Y'all be on the Sherry Show,
Yes.
Pamela Hall Show
Cameron
there in
Hall
New York.
show.
Right. We want to show you what you would get at just connecting with us this year right now. We're pushing for cancer awareness, supporting if people want to be on that board next month or whatever, you can do that. But I want to show you this is a real deal. That's me up there. There's Les
That's
Brown.
real deal.
Raymond is here. I just let me get on down to we want you to be a part because we know where we're going to take this. These men, y'all going to be on the billboard. Raymond's already here. Let me show Raymond. This is me and my road dog, Melanie. And we're going to be offering this once we get the book. There's Raymond right here. That's at the Sherry Show. See, I told you. I forgot he was a drum major. Raymond knew how to get down. He was going down. What I'm saying is we know how to have fun, but the thing that we want you to do is get in. We want exposure. This stuff helps you say that if I can be in the room with Sherry, if I can be in the room with Tamala Hall out there, then you know growing up, these young men would know, or you, that, hey, look at Raymond on the board. So these are things that we will be offering as well as a part of hanging out with us.
That was so exciting.
Raymond, look at you right here dancing. That would rank the town hall right there. Raymond, would you just take that 1 minute to say, I mean 1 minute, because we are going to close there. I just wanted people to know we're going to have fun doing this. This is why I want people to understand we're going to have fun doing this. It's not just a little dull book. Raymond, we're getting ready to do this thing big, travel the world, global tour. I got people said they do men's and leadership meetings over in Africa or with youth meetings and things in different parts. And we are going to be fun. Raymond is going to be around the world. This time next year, it's on. And so we want this young man to help raise up your youth and be able to come be on TV. So y'all might be in this, we don't know. But we certainly want the Lord, we want to at least get your help to support. And then God is going to turn this thing around that you'll be able to enroll your child.
And it was so exciting, as Dr. Clark was saying, when we went to New York last November. I remember it was the week before Thanksgiving. And just in the back of my mind, I was thinking, always been a big fan of Sherry Shepherd and Tamron Hall as well. And of course, Tamron Hall is a Texas native too, by the way, Dr. Clark. And just thinking, wow, it would really, New York's not that far. It would really be great to go up and sit in the audience. But again, just one of those things you think about it, but when you think about it, that's a seed. It's a seed and it's already there. Right. And so sure enough, when this opportunity came up, and then Dr. Clark says, okay, so, we're up in New York. So while we're up here, we can go to Sherry Shepherd show. And I'm thinking, what? We're going to be on Sherry Shepherd show? And Tamron Hall. I'm thinking 2 for 1, say what? And then to further that, as she said, I'm thinking, I'm just glad to be, you hear the old people say, I'm just glad to be in the building.
Right.
I was glad to be there. And just a part of that, these are ladies that I admire, and they both have great, powerful testimonies. Lo and behold, Dr. Clark is a witness. I get called out on both shows. Both shows. I get called out of the audience. And show us this, introduce yourself, tell us your name, where you're from, and that type thing. And that's lending my voice. That was the beginning to me of lending my voice on a sure enough national platform like that. And God honors just whatever dream you have, regardless of how large or how small we may think. He
Mm-hmm.
will let us know that it's from him, and that's what excites me so much. Just moving forward.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, let's see. If here's the thing, I just want people to see that we have fun, Raymond. We absolutely have
Yes,
fun
has a
on
lot
our.
of fun.
Listen, in case you want to get in our tribe, that's where our community of writers, we do a lot. So we just don't write a book and just bye bye unless you want that. But
Right,
Raymond, someone might say, man, let me get in on your tribe. Yeah, absolutely. You need a book published, you want to be in our magazines or whatever, go to jbagsbooks.com, contact us through our website and let us know, and then we'll have a dialogue with you and see if it's something that we would love to move forward with. It was a time, Raymond. I tell people that when we first started this 25 years ago, we'd take anybody with a puff and pocketbook. Unfortunately, we are extremely busy now doing, like you said, we don't just publish a book. We look at your whole world and
right,
see what we can do to bless it. Not, and so that requires us walking with you for long terms, and you never stop being our clients in a sense. And so we want to make sure doors open for you, books, expos, everything when you do a book. So please just go to our website and then we will tell you what you need to do for us to even consider you as a client. And so we just love you and love doing paying it forward, Raymond. Like I said, we grew up with nothing. And so now God has raised us up. So listen, I want to thank you for hanging out with us. I need you to repurpose this, share this broadcast with everybody. Thank you, Raymond. We love you. We appreciate
thank
all that
you.
God is doing through you. And this is a time that we need people to rally around you now. You're paying it forward, but we also need the community to go out and buy the book. So go to RaymondMcAllister.net. We are pre-selling. I'll keep saying it. So I got the video here to prove it. We're pre-selling the ebook now. Now the other book will be coming, but right now we need you to go out and buy it. It's only $5.99. What are we doing? We are trying, for though the new people just came in on the story, like in a show, people come in at the beginning, middle, and the end. We
Right,
are now, our goal is between this weekend is to make Raymond a #1 Amazon best-selling author. We can do this with your help. How? Go out right now and purchase it now. You can't wait next week. You have to do it now. It's about doing it now, the buying now. It's the same thing with a New York Times bestseller. It's about the sales that happen in a short amount of time. So we need you to support this young man. Go to RaymondMcAllister.net. Pre-order the ebook now for $5.99. Love you. God bless you. Have a great day.
love you. Thank you.
Mhm.